Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
Do this with me. Ready? Today's story surprise is, drum roll please, on your knees. Bing! Tom's Tears. And this one is published by Ethicool and it's by Teigan Margetts. So there's our picture. And again, like lots of the Ethicool books, they're very long and very wide. So I'm going to have to do some moving around to show you the pictures. Tom's Tears. Here we go. Okay. Here's picture one. It was a warm, sunny day and Tom and Oliver were skateboarding in the park. What? That looks so fun. Look at them go. Whee! Oh, wow. Looks like it looks like a kickflip trick, doesn't it? That is very cool. Wish I could skateboard. Tom was trying to land a kickflip when he tripped over the board and grazed his knee quite badly. Oh no, Oliver rushed over to Tom to see if he was okay. There he goes, rushing. Oh, and he's just fallen off his skateboard. That's okay. That happens sometimes when we're learning something new. We make a couple of mistakes. All right. Oh dear, so Tom went to see if he was okay, but he wasn't. Oh no. Oh Tom, how bad is it? Oliver asked. It hurts so much, Tom winced, but I can't show it. I'm not allowed to cry. Oh, and there's Tom holding his grazed knee. Poor Tom. Well, I wonder if you've ever had a bit of an ouchie or a boo-boo from falling off your bike or your scooter. I know I have. Why? Oliver asked, confused. Because I've lost my tears, Tom replied. Whatever do you mean? How did you lose your tears? Asked Oliver. I don't think I've ever lost my tears. I wonder what happened. It all started a few months ago, explained Tom. My dad told me that I'm not allowed to cry. He said I needed to be a real man. He said that if I cried, that would make me a girl. Oh dear, that's not a very nice thing to say, is it? And here's Tom. Here's his dad. Oh dear, poor Tom. Oh, Oliver responded, sounding surprised that his dad had told him that. Oh dear. You see, Tom continued, my brother lost his tears a few years ago, but he hasn't made him any happier. Instead, he's sadder than ever. He stomps around the house grumpily, and if something upsets him, he kicks things, including me. Oh dear. And here we go. Oh no, that's Tom's big brother. He's not looking very happy, is he? And poor little Tom. Oh dear. Tom's story didn't sound too good to Oliver at all. Oliver didn't want Tom to lose his tears, only to find his temper. We'll just have to find your tears then, said Oliver triumphantly. And here are the two friends. It looks like Oliver's going to help Tom out. Now that's a very good friend. So, Tom and Oliver headed off to try and find Tom's tears. Their first stop was the playground. They looked behind the slide, in the cubby, and under the bridge. Can you see your tears, Tom? Oliver asked. No, I don't think so, Tom replied. Oh, here they are looking again. They went to the local woods and searched behind every single tree, but no tears could be found. Oh dear, don't give up, Tom. I'm sure we'll find them. Feeling helpless, Oliver invited Tom back to his house. Tom and Oliver were feeling tired, so they put on a movie. In the movie, a dog got lost at sea, but his brave owner swam out to rescue him. Okay, so here we've got Tom and Oliver watching a movie, and here's the dog from the movie. Oh no. And then, what happens next? Tom! Oliver yelled. Look! Your tears are back! Check it out, there they are. I can see 1, 2 little tears. Oh, wow, we found them. Are you sure? Tom asked, feeling his cheeks. Yeah, go and look in the mirror, Oliver replied. Look how excited Oliver is that they've found Tom's tears. He is pretty stoked. And with that, Tom went and looked at himself. They're back, he squealed. They're really back. Oh, look, Tom's got his tears back and he looks pretty happy about it, don't you think? Ta-da! Ha-ha! Oliver gave Tom a big hug. He was so glad Tom's tears were back and didn't want him to lose them ever again. Tom, your tears are great, Oliver said. You can cry whenever you want around me. We can even cry together because that's what friends are for. And here we've got Oliver and Tom and a nice big tear, and they're having a cuddle because Oliver reminded Tom that showing your feelings is okay. And with that, Oliver and Tom headed back to the skate park. I reckon I can land that kickflip this time, said Tom. And here they go zooming around the skate park. Whoa! Looking happy as can be. And that, everybody, is the end. Oh, well done to Oliver and Tom for finding those tears. Now, this was a very interesting story, wasn't it? I'm going to tell you what it's about because one of our favourite things about Ethicool's books is that if you flip to the back with your mum or your dad or your carer, there's a special paragraph that tells you what the story is about. It says it's time to take action. Men who feel they can't express their emotions are more likely to feel sad. Yeah, so what can we do to save the day? I think Tom and Oliver are great friends. Where's a picture of Oliver? There he is. Because Oliver reminded Tom that crying is okay. Showing your feelings is a good thing because sometimes we feel happy, don't we? And sometimes we feel a bit sad. And sometimes we feel grumpy or excited or a bit scared. And all of those feelings are totally normal, including feeling sad. And sometimes we need to have a bit of a cry. And especially right now, a lot of people are at home and they haven't seen their friends for a long time. But you might feel a bit sad about that. And that is not a bad thing. That's good. And it's good to let yourself feel your feelings. So I want to say thank you to Tom and Oliver from our book today for teaching us that very important lesson.
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
Let's do it the story surprise way. Are you ready? Today's story surprise is, drum roll please, on your knees. Bing! This one is called My Daddy's Shadow. And take a look at this picture. It's a beautiful picture. There we have a little girl on their daddy's shoulders. Whoa! And this one is by Riley M. Rodgers and Sid Mareles. Now this one and this one, Story Surprise have done on our podcast, and we bring it to life with lots of sound effects and voices. You can go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify to hear these ones. We haven't yet done videos on these, which is why I thought I'd share them with you today so you can see all of the beautiful pictures. All right, My Daddy's Shadow. Okay, here we go. Have a look at these pictures. Very dark, isn't it? My world is bursting with so much colour. I look outside and see so much wonder. But when I look inside, something isn't right. My daddy's world lacks colour. It isn't quite so bright. Oh dear. And here we've got the dad sitting at the table with a cup of tea. Oh, that's a little bit like me, because I've also got a cup of tea. Let's see why the daddy's feeling a little bit glum. There's this big dark shadow that follows him around. It doesn't talk or laugh. it doesn't make a sound. There was a time when there was no shadow in our home, but now I wonder if it will ever leave poor Dad alone. Oh dear, and here we go. We've got Dad doing lots of things around the house, but here's that dark shadow. I wonder why it's sticking around. It slowly grows bigger and bigger and gets way out of control. When it comes time for breakfast, I wonder if it needs its own bowl. Sometimes it holds on too tight and it feels like Dad can't breathe. I try to get him free. I push and pull with all my might. I tug and heave. Oh, and here we go. Here is the daughter pulling on that big shadow. Pull. Oh. But it's stuck to him like glue. You see, no matter how much I try, it just won't leave his side. It sometimes makes him cry. And remember, Tom and Oliver from our last book taught us that that's okay to cry sometimes. Even when we're at the playground trying to have fun, the shadow slows him down and he can hardly run. So here they are in the playground trying to have a good time, but that shadow is stuck around. And there it is. Oh dear. The shadow makes him tired and he stays in bed all day. He tries his very hardest but can't come out to play. He carries the darkness around with him and it clouds the brightest sun. Oh, he tries his very best, but his darkest days aren't much fun. And here are the children out playing, but Daddy is just not feeling up to it. He's just here in his bed. I try to make it better. I help to make him laugh. I even tell his favourite joke about the green giraffe. But the shadow is really heavy, and my daddy's smile is sad. It's days like these his shadow makes my daddy really mad. Yeah, I know what that feels like, to feel mad. And there's that shadow, it's just sticking around, isn't it? Then some days the shadow becomes lighter and my daddy's that bit brighter. We go in and out of everywhere when these bright days come around, because we never know when the shadow plans to strike him straight back down. Oh, isn't that lovely? They're out having a good time this day because Daddy was feeling good. But sometimes the shadow comes back. That's okay too. It creeps into the corner and pounces on his back. Never fear, Daddy, for I am ready to attack. I'm always looking for this darkness, and I know when it gets near that if I roar and stomp my feet, it might run away in fear. Roar! Here she is, roaring it away. Dad tries really hard to stand and fight alone, but sometimes you need help, even when you're grown. Together, we stare the shadow down and we chase it far away. We don't want your darkness here again, for the light is here to stay. Ah, look at them working together. Ha ha! Be gone, shadow! So, I love my dad a lot, even if the shadow never goes. I love my dad from the top of my head right down to my tippy toes. Oh, and here they are, just like what we're doing, reading a story. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? And that, my friends, is the end. Oh, didn't that little girl do such wonderful things to help her daddy with his shadow? This is what it says in the back of the book, where the important message can be found. All of us may be visited by a dark shadow at one stage or another in our lives. It makes us feel very sad. Some shadows can linger for months or even years, leaving very few days for the sun to shine. Now this is the really important part, so listen up everybody. If your shadow won't go away, then what do? You ask for help. And if a shadow is affecting a friend or family, give them as much love and support as you can. Together, we can shine our light into the darkest of days. And here's the girl and the daddy and the little doggy having a big cuddle. I think that's a very important message at the end there. We always must do what we can to help. And sometimes we won't feel happy, but that's okay. That's very normal. Hopefully the sunshine and the sunlight comes around again and we have some good days too.
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
All the votes are coming in. I know Oscar would like Cheeki. Good one, Oscar. Cheeki. This book here is the reason that we wrote the Tooth Train. You might have heard that song on YouTube. The Tooth Train is on its way, so here we go. It's all about brushing your teeth. And we found this book and it inspired us to write that song. So that if we didn't have this book, we wouldn't have that song. So there you go. All right, I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Cheers. All right. Oscar gets it. We're going to read Cheeki Loses a Tooth. Here we go. This is a fun one. Oh, I've got some bookmarks in here. Ooh. Must have been reading it. And marked my page. Oh, look at this. This is Cheeki. Cheeki is super cute. And you know what? I thought she might be hiding in the bookshelf. Guess who's here? Hold on, I'm going to get her. It's Cheeki! Cheeki has a special home in the Story Surprise bookshelf. So Cheeki, what do you think? Do you want to read this story with us? Yes! Excellent. All right, I might pop Cheeki in my lap. I know you can see her little head there, and we'll bring her up every now and then. Okay. Cheeki loses a tooth. In a cave on a day that was long and was hot, a sweet little dino was singing a lot. Though singing was one of her favourite things, she longed to fly with magical wings. And look at these beautiful pictures, and here is Cheeki singing. Do you want to give us a tune, Cheeki? Yep. La 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 la. Whoa, that was beautiful, Cheeki. Thank you for sharing. So, la-la-laing her last little note, she took a big chop while wishing to float. But something was strange, and she felt a small wiggle. She chopped once again, and she felt a wee jiggle. Oh no, Cheeki, you've bitten to that apple very hard, and what happened? Oh no, should we keep reading and find out? All right, okay, Cheeki, let's find out what happens next. Oh dear. All right, Mummy, my mummy, come look, please come see. My tooth feels so loose, and it's not meant to be. Cheeki, oh dear, little Cheeki. How will I eat? My poor mouth is so sore. Is it just the one tooth? I don't want to lose more. And here was Cheeki feeling very concerned about that tooth. Oh, Cheeki, are you okay? Oh, Cheeki, it's okay. All right, let's keep reading and we'll find out why that tooth was wobbling. Cheeki was frightened to lose her first tooth, scared it would hurt if she told the truth. Was it just one tooth? Or two? Even three? She needed to look in the mirror and see. Don't worry, Cheeki, I think it's just one tooth. It's just one tooth, Cheeki, and everyone loses their teeth when they're little, so it's quite normal. Let's see what happens next. Okay, Cheeki, you gotta sit up. There we go. Okay. As the little tooth wobbled in front of her eyes, she felt all excited to her happy surprise. It was then she remembered, the magical fairy. It was then that all of this didn't feel quite so scary. Check out this cool dinosaur fairy. Wait a minute. Is that the tooth fairy? I think it is. I think it's the tooth fairy. This is so cool. Oh, Mummy, remember the fairy of teeth who flies way up high and then searches beneath pillows or toys where a small tooth might hide as it waits for the fairy who hopes to be spied. This is awesome. I remember doing this when I was little. You take your tooth and you can pop it under your pillow or in a special box. And then the tooth fairy might come. Oh, this is so exciting. But then, in a flash, Cheeky's mind filled with doubt. What did Cheeky know about how and when her first tooth would come out? As Cheeky was brushing her teeth all around, a pop made her tooth tumble right to the ground. Mummy, my mummy, come look, please come see. The fairy of teeth might not wait long for me. All right, so the tooth has officially fallen out. There it is, pop. And what did you do with the tooth next, Cheeki? Can I keep reading and find out? Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, this is getting exciting. Cheeki then hastily made just one wish as she hid her wee tooth with a cover and a swish. I can't wait to see what the fairy might bring, whatever it is. I do hope there are wings. Oh, Cheeki really wants to fly, don't you, Cheeki? Yes, and here is Cheeki, placing that tooth, like we said, under the pillow. Well done, Cheeki. Very prepared. Time. It went by with a tick, then a tock, while Cheeki impatiently watched the big clock. Do you think that a fairy could possibly be a triceratops? Sort of like me? Yeah, that's the kind of dinosaur Cheeki is, a triceratops. I wonder if you knew that. If you like dinosaurs, you might have spotted that already. Cheeki is a triceratops. Yeah, and I wonder if the tooth fairy could look like a triceratops. As two little eyes slowly drifted to sleep, in a flutter, the fairy just wanted to peep. Shall I leave her a wand or some precious new wings? I know that she loves lots of marvellous things. Ooh, it's a very posh triceratops tooth fairy. And here she is. And Cheeky's fast asleep. Shh, and in comes the tooth fairy. As the tooth fairy found the wee tooth, she was sure she'd leave magic and wings for the sweet dinosaur. Cheeky, that's what you wanted! Wow! Ah, you seem pretty excited about that, Cheeky. What a kind tooth fairy that is. Our sweet Cheeky stirred as the fairy was leaving. Sleep now, the fairy hushed. Just keep believing. And what does the tooth fairy say? Shh, we don't want to wake Cheeky. Otherwise, Cheeky might spy her. Snuggling her pillow, Cheeky dared to believe. Was this the real magic that she had received? All of this magic from one little tooth? We are all filled with magic, and that is the truth. It sure is. And that, everybody, is the end. Oh, Cheeky, I'm so glad that you got your wings that you wished for. Woohoo! Oh, that sure is good news. Now, if you want to catch Cheeky again, did you know that on the Story Surprise YouTube, there is an episode that we put together and we bring to life this story with Cheeky. We act it out with props and sound effects and colours and costumes, and then we sing the Tooth Tooth Train. We even do a special craft activity, and if you go to the Story Surprise YouTube and you look at our episodes playlist, you will find more of Cheeky there, which is pretty cool. It's also a podcast. We just love Cheeky so much, we just make it into all kinds of different things. So thank you, Cheeky. Do you want to wave goodbye? Goodbye!
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
Drum roll, please. On your knees. It's called The Dragon Who Bought a New Vest. And this story is by Adia and Lixi Caldwell, and they are from Queensland, Australia. Anthony and I have covered this book on Story Surprise in our podcast and in our video series on YouTube and IGTV before, and I get to play Roscoe. So if you want to see the version where we act it out, head to YouTube. And if you want to see the really extravagant audio, kind of like an audiobook version, head to Apple Podcasts. But now you get to enjoy me reading it to you live. All right, it's called The Dragon Who Bought a New Vest. And the pictures are really shiny, so I gotta watch they don't... Ooh, disco book. Here we go. Here is an amazing castle. I wonder who this belongs to. Once there was a dragon who lived in a glorious castle. And if I zoom on in here, there he is. Hey, little dragon. Wish I had a castle. His name was Roscoe. And there he is playing tennis. What? That's got to be one of the coolest dragons I ever did see. Hey, Roscoe. Here he is. Ooh, tomorrow Roscoe would have a party at his castle to celebrate his birthday. He would love to wear a red vest, but all he had were green, purple, and black ones. And there's Roscoe sorting through his wardrobe. He doesn't quite have the vest he's hoping to wear for his birthday. Although I do have to say, I'm quite a fan of this purple jacket. Where can I get one of those, Roscoe? So, Roscoe decided to buy a new vest. After brushing his teeth, the dragon flew to Dragon & Co. vest shop. Look at that, he's got great dental hygiene. He must have caught the tooth train. Well done, Roscoe. And there he goes. Off he goes to the shops. Rocco. It's Rocco. I think I've been saying Roscoe this whole time. Rocco, he answers to both. Rocco stared at all the vests. They were all very interesting, but he was looking for a red one. And here we can see, looking around this very fancy store, maybe that one up there might be red. I wonder if he's spotted that one yet. He saw some red vests and tried them on. The first one was too tight. There he is trying on the first one. A bit of a snug fit. The second one was too shiny. Oh, I quite like that one. That'd probably be my pick. I like a bit of sparkle. And the third one just made him feel too hot. Oh, there you go. You can see he's sweating his little tongues out. No, I don't think that's not the vest for Rocco. We'll have to keep looking. The next vest Rocco tried on was perfect. It wasn't too tight or too shiny, and it didn't make him feel too hot. Ooh, Rocco! It's got a little chain and everything. Check that out. That's the smartest dressed dragon I've ever seen. Looking good. So he went to the counter and he paid for the vest. And look at this very smart attendee here at the front in his black dress vest. Oh, I wonder where Rocco shops. I'll have to ask. The next night, Rocco wore his vest for his birthday party. He wore it with his fine white shirt, and all the guests at the party were dazzled by how handsome he was. Now let's take a look around this dance floor. Dun, 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 dun. And there he is. He's coming out the top. I feel like it's like the movies where they like emerge at the top of the stairs and then everyone stops and they're like, oh my goodness, have you ever seen anything so beautiful? I think he looks great. They all agreed that his new red vest looked fabulous on him, and I have to agree, there is Rocco looking very smart. And I think these are some of his dragon pals. They give him the tick of approval. And that is the nicest, simplest story, because that is the end!
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
The next story surprise is, drumroll please, on your knees. The Muddy Princess and Spotty the Tortoise by Sara Quinlan and Georgie Anderson. And I just think these illustrations are so cute. There's Spotty. I love the little dress. I love the watercolour. Let's get into it. And a big thank you to Sara Quinlan. This book was sent to us all the way from the UK, which is pretty cool. It's always fun to have the actual copy in your hand. Anthony says, I love this book. We are big fans. We are big fans. We don't put all of the artwork from all of the books on the wall. Just the ones we really like. We really like this one. All right, have a look at these pictures before we get into it. Beautiful. I just love it. All right. The Muddy Princess lived with her mummy, daddy, and big brother. She wasn't really a princess. She lived in an ordinary home, but her granddad, or Rara, always called her a princess, and therefore it must be true. And there we can see we've got the Muddy Princess and her Rara. And let's take another look at this. This is the family. There they all are together. Every day she would wear a pretty dress and her welly boots, and 99 bananas out of 100, she would be muddy. She also had a delightful plume of ginger hair upon her head. But this was no ordinary delightful plume of ginger hair. Oh my whoopsie daisies, no. It was magic. But you'll find out about that later. And have a look at these beautiful illustrations. Here we go. Getting ready for the day. Oh, yes, she is a little bit muddy. She was right. Okay. I just love the language in this book. Delicious. The Muddy Princess and her family lived next door to a very old tortoise called Spotty. The Muddy Princess and Spotty loved to have a good old chit-chat over the fence between their gardens. They would talk for hours about all kinds of things like books and gardening, the weather, politics, but their favourite topic of conversation was dandelions. And there they are, having a bit of a chit-chat over the fence. And if you look closely, you'll see Spotty's got a bow tie on. It's the cutest. Ah, what a lovely friendship. Spotty was dotty about dandelions. He adored them. He thought they were the most delicious thing in the world. Every day he would eat them for breakfast, snack, brunch, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, pudding and supper. That's a lot of meals. Well, the Muddy Princess loved to help her friend by collecting dandelions for him whenever she could. And here is Spotty just sitting down for a lovely plate of dandelions. Oh, he's just the cutest. One sunny morning, the Muddy Princess put on her favourite welly boots and went out for a walk with her mummy and big brother. While on their walk, they would usually collect dandelions for Spotty in their special blue dandelion collecting bucket. Here's the bucket, and that's the big brother. Unfortunately, on this particular morning, they could not find any dandelions. This made the Muddy Princess feel sad. She couldn't bear the thought of her dear friend Spotty going hungry. Oh no! Then she had an idea. She held on to her big brother with one hand and holding the special blue dandelion collecting bucket in the other, she started to shake her magic delightful plume of ginger hair and whiz pop shake dandelion cake. The Muddy Princess and her big brother found themselves in the most ginormous field full of probably a gazillion dandelions. That's a lot of dandelions. Whoa, and this is my favourite picture from the whole book. Check this out. This one we like so much. It's in a frame on the wall up there. It's the same one. Woohoo! Oh, my gooseberry gâteau, shrieked the Muddy Princess. Look at all these dandelions. Whoa, can you see that? The field was not only full of yellow dandelions, the ones that Spotty liked the best, but also the white wispy ones that you can blow and shake to make all the seeds glide gently away in the breeze. Well, that's a lot of dandelions. Woohoo! Oh, they must be stoked. The Muddy Princess and her big brother were thrilled to be filling their special blue dandelion collecting bucket with lots of yellow, golden, juicy, delicious dandelions. They were also blowing and shaking the seeds from the white, wispy dandelions to make sure more and more would grow in their place. Ah, very smart. Well done. They really were having the most wonderful time. Look at the big brother. There they go! Oh, that bucket is full to the brim! Whoa! All of a sudden, they could hear a rumbling sound. Was that your tummy rumbling? Laughed Big Brother. I don't think so, replied the Muddy Princess. I ate all of my bibics for breakfast this morning. Oh, the rumbling sound started to get louder and louder. Oh, my dandy daffodils, yelled the Muddy Princess. Run! Uh-oh, a gigantic green tractor with huge lawnmowers at the back was heading quickly straight towards them. Ah! Uh-oh, here it comes. Big Brother, not looking so sure. Oh, oh no! Oh dear, that's not what they need. They ran, and the muddy princess had to think fast. She grabbed her big brother by the hand, holding their special blue dandelion collecting bucket in the other, and once again to shake her magical, delightful plume of ginger hair and... whiz, pop, shake, take us back to Mummy Cake! Whee! Ah, and off they go. Woo! Ha! The muddy princess and her big brother landed on their bottoms in front of Mummy with a thump. "What are you two up to?" giggled Mummy. The muddy princess and her big brother looked at each other and then at their special blue dandelion collecting bucket. Oh, there they are. What was that? Oh. A huge smile spread across their faces. It was full to the brim of scrumptious yellow dandelions. And check out this bucket. Well done. They got what they needed. Woohoo! "Oh, my store-bee Sundays," cried the muddy princess. The muddy princess, her mummy, and big brother rushed back home. Once home, the muddy princess and her big brother stood by the fence between the gardens. "Spotty!" they both called out. "Look what we've got!" Oh, check it out. Look at all those dandelions. Here comes Spotty. Looking very smart. Spotty wandered over to them as quickly as a very old tortoise could, while the muddy princess and her big brother tipped the enormous bucket full of dandelions over the fence. Whee! And there they go. Spotty was mesmerised. He had never seen quite so many dandelions. Whoa! That day, the old tortoise had had enough for breakfast, snack, brunch, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, pudding, and supper. He even had leftovers, which he made into a dandelion cake. Oh, that is the happiest tortoise I ever did see. Look at all of these dandelions, plus a plate full of them, and here is the dandelion cake. Oh, I must ask Spotty for the recipe. And that, everybody, is the end! Woohoo! And that story was called The Muddy Princess and Spotty the Tortoise by Sara Quinlan and Georgie Anderson. And it's one of our absolute favourites. We just love the pictures.
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
I've got to do the usual, spiel and shtick. And if you have little ones, they might know that it goes a little bit like this. Today's story surprise is, drum roll please, on your knees. Bing! This book is called Just Like Me, and it's by Disha, Bose and Eva Rodriguez. And this book is published by our friends at Ethicool books. They are amazing, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what they do. But for now, let's jump straight into this. This is a really wide book, so I might have to show you the pictures as we go. All right, just like me. All right, here's the first picture. It's a beautiful bear and their baby cub. So cute. Mama, I made a new friend today, and she's unlike me in every way. I wanted to share my lunch with her, but it's sure not fish that she prefers. Oh, check it out. Here's the little baby bear and their new friend. And they look a little bit different from each other, don't they? Let's see what happens next. Oh, is that a narwhal? How cute. I love the illustrations. They're beautiful. And then I wanted to roll in the snow, but she said, it's cold. I really don't know. And here we have the little polar bear chilling out on the ice and the friend who's not quite sure. And when she growls, you will agree, she really doesn't sound at all like me. So here we have the two little bears. That one's giggling. And they definitely don't like the same games, and they don't sound alike either. Mama, Can two bears so different be friends and play? Wait, listen to what else she did today. But wait, there's more, and here we have the little baby bear telling the mama bear all about their new friend. Mama, you should see how my new friend climbs trees. She has an extra toe that snaps bamboo with ease. An extra toe? That sounds pretty useful. Ah, and here she is hanging out in the bamboo. I think this friend is a panda. And who's this? Just a monkey, just another friend they've found along the way. Oh, there's a couple. I didn't even see these ones. Look, they're hiding. Look at that. So cute. And when we talked, we just couldn't stop. And she didn't care that I couldn't reach the treetops. Oh, so even though they're different and they like different things and they eat different foods, they can still be buddies. There they are having a chat, having a powwow. She's not like me, but we're also the same. We can roll and growl and hunt and play games. And off they go on another adventure together. Two different kinds of animals, but the best of friends. Mama, I made a friend with a good heart. Oh, looks a little bit wobbly on the ice there. Check that out. Wibble wobble. And that, Mama, is my favourite part. And there they are, having a little bit of a cuddle. It's nice to make new friends, isn't it? And that is the end. See, Anthony and I really like this book because it has a very important message, and this is our favourite part about the books that are by Ethicool kids books. In the back, they always have a special message which explains exactly what we can take away from the book. And I'm going to read this one to you. The mums and dads might appreciate this. It's time to take action. Our gorgeous world is so special because of its diversity. Plants and animals of all different shapes and sizes call Earth their home. But did you know that humans are all different too? We can look different, sound different, speak different languages, and be born into different families. You too are special because of the unique traits that make you who you are. Difference is something to celebrate, something to love, and something to behold. Do you know what is special about your friends and family? Why don't you ask them? So it's a beautiful story about two very different kinds of animals who can be the best of friends. That's one of our favourites by Ethicool. It's called Just Like Me. And thank you to the authors and illustrator Disha Bose and Eva Rodriguez.
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.
The next story surprise is, drum roll please, on your knees. Brrr, bing. Ella and the Exploding Fish. Oh, and this one is by Teigan Margetts. A big hello to Teigan, because Teigan does all of the amazing things at Ethicool and has been very, very good to Story Surprise. So thank you for sending us these beautiful books, Teigan. And this one just happens to be by Teigan. All right, Ella and the Exploding Fish. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh, it doesn't look like a super happy fish, does it? Giving me a bit of side eye. All right. Now, this is another super long book, so take it all in, have a look at this picture, and then I'll read the first page for you. Ella and Ava were having a barbecue at their uncle's house when he told them some very exciting news. Kids, It's time for you to learn about responsibility. So, I've bought you both a fish, he said. And he handed each girl a fish in a cup. Huh, thanks, Uncle. Check it out now. Now we can look a little bit closer and you'll see there's the uncle. And he's got, they're not just cups. There are fish in these cups. Check it out. And here is the family. And here are the kids. They look pretty chuffed. Thanks, Uncle. All right, now we've brought the fish home. Check them out. They look like very pretty cool fish. We've got one in a very elaborate tank with lots of goodies. And we've got another one over here with a plant. What are you going to put in your tank, Ella? Asked Ava. I want my fish to have an underwater kingdom, Ella replied. And I want it to be as pretty and shiny and sparkly as can be. And what about you? Ella asked Ava. Oh, I just want some nice seaweed for my fish, Ava replied, so he feels he's at home. So let's have a look again. Here's the fish who has the princess castle, and here's the fish with just the seaweed. They look a little bit different, don't they? Each of the characters, Ella and Ava, have decided to set up their tanks pretty differently. After lunch, Ella and Ava's uncle took them to the local pet store. Ella went in and started looking for the biggest fish castle she could find. Whoa. Oh, and that was when she found it. So let's check out what they've seen in this pet store. There's lots and lots of fish in their tanks for everyone to see. There they all are. And over here, we can see the uncle and Ella and Ava having a look around. So let's see what she found. Look at this! Ella yelled as she pointed to the biggest, shiniest, most sparkly fish castle Ava had ever seen. With this castle, my fish tank is going to be the most beautiful fish tank ever! Oh, and wait till you see this. Oh my goodness! Isn't that extravagant? And let's see their faces. Whoa. What? The uncle looks pretty happy about it. I mean, it all sounds pretty fun. What could possibly go wrong? As Ella carried her castle to the counter, Ava headed over to the plant section to get a single piece of seaweed for her fish. But when Ava arrived back at the counter, Ella burst out laughing. Ha ha! What's that? Ella taunted. My fish home will be way better than your fish home, Ava. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? On here we can see a little bit of sniggering. Oh dear. And then we've got the single piece of seaweed. Oh, I think that would make quite good food and quite a nice house for the fish. Let's see what happens next. When Ella and Ava got home, they put their fish in their new homes and decorated their tanks. And here they are. We've got the very fancy, elaborate fish tank with all of the princess castle and the pink goodies. And then over here, we've got the simple tank with just a couple of bits of seaweed and one little fishy. Check it out. They're doing some decorating together. It's a very long book, isn't it? Ooh. There we go. The next morning, the girls woke up very early to check how their fish were going. But something wasn't quite right. Let's have a look at this fish over here. Oh, he doesn't look very happy, does he? Do you think our fish look a bit bigger today? Asked Ella. I'm not sure. Maybe we should feed them a bit less, Ava replied. Good idea, said Ella. So here we have the fish in the simple tank with just the seaweed. I think that's a little fishy smile. But over here, the fish in the fancy tank with the big castle doesn't look so happy. I wonder why. Ava woke up the next day to Ella squealing. "Come quick! Come quick!" Ella yelled. "Something's happened!" Oh no, oh no. Oh, ah! Oh dear. I wonder what's happened during the night. Oh no, everybody, it's not good news. I'm going to show you the picture because on this page there's no words. But let's see, does this fishy look very happy now? No, oh dear, I think the fish hasn't had much luck during the night, and I can see a bit of a tear here. Yes, I'd be a little bit upset too. And the fish is looking pretty sad. It hasn't had a very good night. Oh no, I don't think it's good news for this fishy. Hold on a minute. This page has a different picture. Now, do you notice this isn't the fish from the pink castle tank? This is the fish where there was seaweed to make it a home just like its natural habitat. And this fishy is doing pretty well with a big smile on its face. So one fishy hasn't done a great job overnight and they haven't made it through the night. And this fishy is still feeling pretty happy. That happens sometimes with our pets. Ella started to cry. "Oh, Ella," Ava said, "I'm so sorry. I guess he didn't like all his glitter after all," Ella sobbed. "No, I don't think so," Ava sighed. "But hey, do you want to help me look after my fish?" "Yeah, definitely," Ella said. "Let's go and get them some more fresh seaweed." So here we go. They weren't feeling very happy, but then they decided to work together and take care of their one pet fish, who's still looking pretty happy. Oh, that's great. They've used their teamwork. And that, everybody, is the end. Oh my goodness, did that story go the way that you thought it might? I don't think so, did it? Now, I told you before that in the back of every single Ethicool book there is a very important message, and I'm going to read you this one because it might help you to understand. It says, "It's time to take action. 100,000, that's a lot, marine creatures and 1 million seabirds die from plastic entanglement or inhalation every year. What are you going to do to save the day?" Oh, I see. So maybe the one little fish who was living in a habitat with seaweed did a great job and survived well, but the one that had a beautiful tank but filled with plastic struggled. That makes sense, isn't it? We've got to do everything we can to take care of our marine creatures and our seabirds. And a way that we can do that is by picking up our rubbish. That's a very easy way that we can help, especially if you're down at the beach. Don't leave your rubbish behind. You've got to take it with you.
Story Surprise with Anthony and Lauren.